coaching. And we're going to do a quickie, and that is going to be for this part of the month moving into November 2021. And I got a few pointers to get you guys ready, and I am going to do some maybe astrology during the week or into November, relating to a few themes that I've seen coming up. One will be based on Donald Trump. Remind me during the week. One will be about the media. What was the other thing I saw? And nodal reversals. Yes. Who of you are Scorpio or Taurus in your nodes? Nodal returns and reversals. Nobody has made a video on it. Unbelievable. Anyone here have a nodal return coming up? When we have the nodes shift into Scorpio and Taurus? Are you Scorpio? Are you Taurus? Anyone know your birth chart? I've got my cuppa, and we're going to chat about the twin flame path. We're going to chat about divine masculine and feminine. And I just had a great chat with Mark, and we were just talking about it. And I said at some point I'm going to get him on here, and we're going to have a good chat about astrology and some of the future things that he's doing and how the big shift is happening for both of us energetically on these platforms. As I mentioned, we're going to do one on Donald Trump. We're going to do one on the media, because you're going to see a lot more media platforms coming up. And the reason is Donald Trump, his nodes do relate to Gemini and Sagittarius. And of course, we are leaving these nodal returns. So I had made a prediction, and I shared it with my friend and on Facebook. So if you follow me on Facebook, I basically said that there would be new technology platforms. And it dawned on me when he said to me, oh, by the way, Donald Trump is. How did you know that? And I went, it's in the astrology. It is because it's aspected in his chart. So I'll dig deeper into that later. Separately, new platforms. Yes, there are going to be new platforms for hosting, similar to YouTube. But because we are in the age of Aquarius, it'll be people orientated. But again, I'll still be here in some shape or form. The other thing is nodal reversals. We're going to talk about that again. Paging. Yes, DFs and DMs, big changes there. Why? Because divine masculine, theoretically from astrology, was in the South Node for 2.5 years. They're now moving out of that. We're moving into eclipse season, moving from next month through to December, and we're having a Venus retrograde in Capricorn. So you're going to have some very interesting subjects coming up, and definitely by November, you really need to tie up those loose ends relating to any Scorpio placement that you have. And if you're seeking employment, lock it in now. There's a few zodiacs where, and Mark, you can probably relate to this. In the transits with Scorpio, you can have changes happening there, but it's remained the same. So there can be sudden changes, it can be more movement, especially if you have Scorpio in the 4th house. Or it can mean that you're quite stuck. So where you choose, select carefully, but it also can be where you're having to shift your focus quite onto other areas of your life and try and balance that, but you have to change your ways through that process. So we're going to get into the downloads. I do see for next month, it's going to move pretty quick. We're going to have planets coming out of shadow. And we're also, and that's pretty much from the first day of November, things are going to be bouncing off. We're going to have Pluto out of shadow direct, Jupiter out of shadow direct, and Saturn. So check out any Aquarius placements. You only have a month to finalize those energies with Jupiter polarity. So what do I mean by that? You've only got a month, because it's swapping signs. So get working. Probably have to do a video based on that so you know where it is. Otherwise, look at your chart. You can go onto birthcharts.com. And at the moment, I do see both divine feminine and masculine really getting to a point where things are swapping. Now, it was in a bit of negativity, because the way I explained October was men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Do you like that one, Mark? Because we had Venus and Mars, and we had Mercury, which is a Venus energy, retrograde in Mercury. So it was bringing up a lot of shadow work, a lot of regression, maybe things to do with love, things to do with your money, your value systems, and even your childhood. Look at this. I look like some cartoon character. So yeah, a lot of the shadow that you were facing, it is heart chakra activation, throat chakra and third eye. So there could have been a lot of ego, but you might have been jumping in after that full moon in Aries into your ego and getting a little bit cross. And maybe a bit warlike, you know, with connections. There also could have been a little bit of conflict trying to balance things and have any success. You're going to find as it goes direct, it's going to be better. Opportunities for transformation around sharing, vulnerability, and shit coming up. Releasing the deeper seed attachments. Yeah, 100%. And then the Scorpio. Currently, we do have Venus in Sagittarius. So it is Sagittarius, if you look at it. It's very Jupiter in nature. It's very independent. Okay, so you'll be more guided towards having a connection, but also wanting to have your spiritual freedom. Okay, you won't be attracted to control. We can accidentally exhibit control, but there's going to be that push-pull energy at the moment, and we're really guided to focus on the movement forward. And divine masculine, it's funny, what I have noticed in the transits is it will affect the energy of feminines first, and then on the polar spectrum of things, it'll start at the end of that cycle starting to affect masculine. So especially when you're going through an egoic purge and a transformation, divine feminine will feel very tight, and then at the latter part of it, you'll find that divine masculine will be very tight, and that's so you guys don't fight, basically. But it's an experience I've noticed through the twin flame connection. Let's see what the cards are showing us and what we need to know. I'm getting the zodiac signs ready for Instagram as well. I am putting posts up to do with the transits, the moon, any specials I've got on the website. I'm creating a blog for the website that will be free. So if you do want to join that, you'll probably notice in the coming weeks there will be blog posts, and then there'll be the paid one. But there's still going to be free stuff on the website. Okay, what is the crystal that we need for the joint connection? 2. About right. Yeah, pay attention to the Aquarius. It's a joint energies, okay, at the moment, especially with Saturn going direct and Jupiter going direct. It's almost like where we were quite stuck, we're now having to deal. We're now having to level up and move forward, and it's relating to groups. Also, because in January, we're going to have Mercury retrograde. That goes all the way back to 2020. And when I saw that in the transits, I was like, oh, God, what we got here? Wherever you've got that Aquarius energy, it can be a little bit testing. Left or right for masculines? Left or right for masculines? Pick your poison. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we need to know? Animal totem, please. Or native spirit. Right, I thought so. They got the blue there. Communication can be coming in. They've got blue and green. Some of them also may be leaving connections. This is also a time I love listening to a lot of news, especially when you look at the energy, psychic energy, polarities that comes through, as well as astrology. And they were calling this time a point of the great, how do they call it? Great resignation. Which is interesting because Scorpio's there. If you're needing a contract, it's time right now to actually start putting your feelers out. You can actually find it can come very quickly, but it's also to gain your security, because next year we're going to have the North Node in Taurus, and you want to do what you can to secure that, because there's going to be changing environments. So, the Great Resignation. The other thing, which is the most Googled term, as we're on the polarity of talking jargon, is the most Googled term is there going to be a recession? Well, if you go back to the Leo King, bless his possum socks, he did say, while everyone's running for the hills and scared, you will still have till 2024 to reap your riches and rewards. Go back and listen to his video, and it's true. Put your back into it, but find balance during 2022 of not only becoming a gold digger, but also balancing your spirituality, which is going to be incredibly important. You know, don't run away with the, you know, don't run away with it. Especially in twin flame path, that's the one thing I've noticed. You need to keep balanced. You got to keep balanced. That's the one thing I'm moving to achieve at the moment in my twin flame path. In my reunion, this is going into our 4th year. Jeez. Okay, yes, they're thinking about the past. Also, because we're having an eclipse in Sagittarius, you're going to have some changes happening in their lives. They're thinking of their conditioning and their values. They also are having struggles with contracts, work, and partnerships. Although we're coming out of Mercury retrograde, it's giving them a 101 to what they're wanting to do. Now, there's a lot of healing that is being achieved, but the one thing they're thinking on their mind is where they want to heal it. So it's not that it's been fixed, obviously, or else we'd all be perfect and we'd descend over. But at the moment, they're thinking on what needs fixing. I do feel they're wanting to communicate with you as well. Release anger. And yes, with Mars and Libra, it can cause frustration. We also having Mars there was relating to the masculines trying to achieve things. But they're also facing their shadow. And the good thing is we did have Aries and Chiron retrograde during that time. So it was helping them actually face their shadow. Okay. So they're currently feeling as though, I just rubbed my eye with my makeup. I'm always in the right place at the right time with the right people. It's in reverse. Bless. Haven't we all been there? Hands up. Put the middle up. Improve timing. Increase the occurrences of synchronistic opportunities. Being inspired and creative. Developing understanding and philosophies. Cultural and spiritual philosophy. By the end of the year, we're having Jupiter move into Pisces, which is the 12th house of masculines. As soon as I clicked on the video, Dylan just said, give YILDIZ a thumbs up. Oh, hi, Dylan. Love you, sweet. Yes, I'm like the Auntie YILDIZ, aren't I? Is he drawing me a picture? So there's fresh starts coming, and that's why at the moment it's giving the yin to the yang. It's like, okay, I really couldn't talk, had no movement. Yes, because both individually, both masculines and feminines, we were doing shadow work. So it was keeping the connection spiritually safe. It was also helping us individually look at that wound so that we could have that fresh start and connections. And this is on Divine Masculine's mind. He's sort of to the point where he's looking at the connections of the past. He's also regressing back and thinking about how you guys were together and also directly how to repair it. I really feel the emotions are coming up, and currently we have the moon transiting Taurus. So the emotions are towards values, love. They're towards, you know, where to actually fix things. Also, because we had the full moon, it's about the arguments, the misunderstandings and things, and again, how to heal it. The other thing I'm seeing is they do know that they do have control to turn this around, and at the foundation of it, they know that it has been a pretty tough time, and at times they feel they can be a bit rough on you. But also the reason why they weren't communicating is because they didn't want to make it worse than it already was. Yeah. Okay. Sacral chakra will be coming up, I'm telling you. And I've got to be polite because I know Leonix's son's listening. No in the dark tarot, like in the members hub. Gosh, that was funny. Did you get the pineapple comedy, guys, for the members? Little private joke. Come through and join us in the members hub. I do feel they, again, heart chakra. We do have heart chakra at the moment, and Divine Masculine's heart chakra, you crack me up. Divine Masculine's heart chakra is expanding, but they do have a lot of stress on them at the moment. And yes, November is going to feel as though we're cramming. But they are in the Magician energy, and they do want to offer you something. We're going to look at feminines, and then we're going to get into the joint energy. And we'll come back here in a minute. Feminines, you guys are like, look, have I been battling for this? And it's been for no reason. I would say also, I was saying to Mark, another thing we'll see in 2022 is baby boomers. North Node's going to be in Taurus. A lot of young coming out in the media. A lot of new things, a lot of changeable events. Maybe the kids laughing at us and go, oh, let go, mum, let go, dad. Get them with the new times. But there's going to be a balance between new and old. Feminines, okay? And you don't have to be a female to be a feminine. It's more the intuitive energy. You've been through the ringer, okay? And I would say from August. We could go back further. But it has felt like these changes you've gone through, the disappointment is, what would you need to do to get that changed, to get the success? What would you need to do? We'll come back to that in a minute and we'll have a look. Now, why is it happening? Because there's no communication, because there's misunderstandings, because you're tired of saying the same thing. You feel it's going on deaf ears. The crystal you have. Okay. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I'm on the journey too. It's easy for me to see beyond the obvious. I am focused on my own path. It's in reverse. I feel many of you are thinking with everything you were trying to do, and this is the epiphany I had, and I think this is more for the first wavers, not the second wavers. So for the first wavers, hey Stella, it is, and that was the one major thing coming up for me psychically, was getting into soul mission. And many times we talk about this in the twin flame path, and it's to do with being in mission, right? And a lot of times we think that's initially directly with that person, and so we can feel a little bit disheartened, like we had a purpose together, right? You don't understand we actually always were on a soul mission, but there's times in the journey where part of your process is actually a mission. Okay, but it's not a mission. It's a mission that you have from a spiritual point of view. That is, it's your soul destiny. So it can be your work. It can be, dealing with whatever it is that is your art. It's moving your energy into that and alchemizing it. I feel with Sagittarius there at the moment. It can be, we've got trade coming up. We've got people running businesses from home. It's moving into that mission. But if you're having to make a major decision right now and you're kind of a bit like you're stuck in the mud and you're feeling like you can't move left or right or make that major decision in your life, and it'll be something that's really nagging on you at the minute, don't not make that decision for fear that that person won't come back to you, because it actually works the polar opposite. By not doing anything, they stop. By moving into your soul mission, you attract it because you're present in your energy, and that is what we call detachment. So if you're having some sense of attachment, soul coaching is helpful, but it's also to look at that, to let go and just permanently be inside your own energy and vibration. Some of the divine feminines do feel tired, like I said, but it's what you're moving towards that is giving you pleasantries and focusing on your side of the path. It's what's going to attract it towards you. Some of you, your divine masculine may move in with you. Some of you, if you're needing to leave energies behind, it's because new chapters are coming. And those chapters that we're moving into at the moment, masculines and feminines, they can feel at the moment very uncertain. Things, like I said, moving into November can be very, very fast, but it's setting you up for success. Remember, we did have Juno retrograde in Sagittarius, so divine feminines effectively were judging the past of divine masculines. The problem was, because it was in the South Node, we're judging on a past experience, not necessarily where it is right now. So they directly have transformed as our own personal perspective relating into connections. Many of you probably aren't as attracted, and that's probably, again, more so coming up for ones that are coming into union soon. And that will be that you have less attachment to control. So if you find that it's coming up very heavy, it's not necessarily that that is a permanency for you. It's more the shadow element of it's coming through. The opposite side of that spectrum is if somebody was controlling you, you don't like it. So you know you've purged it, so to speak, because it's just not attractive. Some of you also, if you're in direct communication with your twin and the karmic, you'll be seeing that dynamic playing out. And some of you from a psychological point of view can feel like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Or that's not attractive. And that's because As you become unattracted to it and you make peace with it, they too are actually becoming unattracted by it, because we had them in the South Node. Now they're moving out of the prison, theoretically. So at the moment, it's like there's no communication. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. You might be confused about your purpose. You're trying to re-navigate, but you feel like you're being through the ringer. You can leave it a few days moving into the new month, for instance, and that can be a little bit easier. Really nurture yourselves at the moment. But yes, you did face a lot of your shadow. And again, we've got the Mars energy here. This is Aries. It was really relating to, you know, pain, the past, divine masculine, indecisions. Thanks, Mark. Now, the conflict. Were they snooping? Yeah, they were. Did they want to know? Yeah, generally before you've done anything. If you get these feelings, they're watching. Yes, they are. But many of you can also be embodying in your heart an old experience and fearing a repeated pattern, and you need to disconnect from that. It's more because we had Aries and Chiron retrograde to show us our shadow so we can clear our heart and open it. I had a very interesting conversation with my mum the other day. She's Pisces and Aquarius, and we were talking about the polarity of love. And here's one example, food for thought, is when we want something and we've been hurt, we tend to push that away because we're scared we're going to get hurt, but it causes more pain to push it away than to be open. So we've got to look at the reasons why we say we need to heal, is because we do want to eat one day. We do want to live and experience a high vibe. But by pushing back for fear of something happening, look at how much work you've done, okay? You'd sense it. You'd walk away. You'd step back. You'd say no. You create those boundaries. That's your power. Okay. You're kind of critiquing yourself like you're being foolish. Don't be mad at yourself. You're human, you know. Don't get mad. Get everything. Go use that pain and turn it into alchemy. Do what YILDIZ does. You know, we feel sorry for ourselves, but then you're like, you know what? Was it somebody, a karmic was hot? Go get a hot body. Was it you're fearing success and money? Go sort it out. It's within your power. Make those dreams come true. Prove to yourself that that isn't true, whatever that is. Yeah, you can heal it. You can fix it. Bob the Builder, you can. I do feel some of you are actually had feelings that things in your life were going to change. You kind of felt the reunion was going to come before those changes happened. The changes are happening, and now you're fearing that the outcome is negative. They're happening for a reason. Yep. So the foundation is saying pretty much because you had avoided certain decisions that you needed to make based on a feeling that something needed to be a certain way. That is one thing in my journey I did. And one day I went, what haven't I done? It was that process of elimination. What haven't I done yet? And it was like something would come up. Oh, maybe, you know, there will be conflict with this person or that person if he returns. And I was like, let it go, not your problem. Maybe if I'm not living here, it'll be a problem. Let it go. That was always proved to me incorrect. All of that, anything that comes up, let it go. If it's major decisions about where you live, what you do for a career, whatever that be, let it go and decide, because I do see something quite majorly coming up. And Divine Feminines are thinking, oh gosh, you know, if I do that, that means that. Try and tune out of that and just come to a place you can be present, because I feel these major transformations that you're about to go through are actually the saving grace and the success. Okay, the joint energy between masculine and feminine. Where's it going between now and November? Okay, self-esteem is going to grow, and so is the spiritual connection psychically. You're going to be more in tune to it. Maintain an organized approach to life. Nah, what have I been saying? Maintain goals with ease. Well, it will be easier because Mercury's going direct, right? It's shadow, but it's going direct. Experience a solid foundation. Some of us are moving home. Some of us are moving careers. Some of us are shifting things about to get organized. Experience a solid foundation. Be grounded and focused. Realize financial freedom. I did mention that. If you need to secure a job, sort it. It can be changing. Understand that, but there's something we learn through it. So choose what's going to be correct for you. Develop intuition, use your psychic gifts, increase realms, recall, and the interpretation and symbols of areas of life. Transform and transmute negativity. This can be a good time to see each other's perspective. You can do a guided meditation on the crown chakra, but I do feel at the moment the heart chakra needs to actually clear. Oh, bless your possum socks. Okay, some of us feel like we're going backwards, but that's more for reconciliations, and it can be for shadow work. Okay, crowning energy. Okay, there's this push-pull, but both of you are ready. Some of you are feeling as though it's like, have I done enough work? No, I need to keep that person at bay. Am I going to be safe? It's the heart chakra. Do a little bit of sacral chakra clearing if you're scared. If you're aggressive, it's sacral chakra and solar plexus. Okay, I do feel as both parties gain confidence and Mars moves into Scorpio at the end of the month, masculines are going to be different. They're going to be really, really taking a critical eye on their connections. If there is a lot of control in them, it can be a little bit problematic. But I do feel both parties here in the mix between divine feminine and divine masculine. This week, it's sort of like you're a bit wary. You're like, can I trust this? Some of you also, which especially with my coaching and the private readings, I was saying it was quite funny because I knew that a lot of communication really wasn't going to be coming through during this particular Mercury retrograde because there was a lot of Mars energy and a little Libra energy, but it was more the fact that Mars was there. Fatigue, wounds, aggression. And with that alone, because it was a very personal transit for both masculines and feminines, you didn't have the energy for that. So it was like the universe was keeping you guys in quite a neutral zone so you could do the shadow work. You can be fearing that you're going to lose things. You can be feeling as though things are getting shredded from your life. It's funny because being that it's a number 5 here, you do tend to find that it does denote a lot of changes and upheavals. And I think we really have done pretty well under the circumstances. Would we want to do it again? No. No, not at all. Underlying circumstances at the foundation. Okay, for the masculine in his life at the moment, there's a little bit of jealousy. This can be really them facing their shadow, but I also feel, you know, at a point in the past between you, there was this kind of dynamic where there was uncertainty. I do feel if there were betrayals, those energies can be coming up. But I feel you're kind of moving away from it, and both of you, providing that deck has been cleared, you'll be more open to it. Yeah, there you go. Providing that deck is cleared. And I did say Scorpio because we're also having the moon in Scorpio next month. That's where I'm saying the shift is going to be. It's really going to start pushing us forward. Yeah, letting go of karmic ties and having these brand new beginnings. Let's pull 3 cards. What does the energy... Okay. Yeah, there's an ending of a situation. I feel it is on both sides of the fence. Okay, there's an ending of some description. I mean, I know for me at the moment it's been endings of cycles with my child. You know, she finished her final year at school. You know, there's endings, moved out, doing this, doing that. So they're endings, and they can be endings on both sides of the fence, but your new beginnings nevertheless. A lot of times, especially I've noticed psychically, is that if a pet passes, it's usually because something major is coming in your life and you need to be able to move. So certain things are removed from our life because we have a new chapter coming. And so the energy has made a contract with us prior. And when it comes in, it's transcending over so we can have this new path coming forward. And sometimes there can be a little bit of stagnation with that at first. But there is an ending of the old connection and a beginning of the new. And this can feel also inside the twin flame connection, you know, almost like something's died, but it's more to do with the old vibration is dying. It's like a soul walk-in. For some of you, yes, you may choose you don't want to do it anymore. There'll still be the ascension, which the benefit of this channel is that I cover that. I have no expectations to what you choose to do. The psychic energy can still be quite profound, but it can be picking up as we move into the latter months. Yeah, again, something's ending. Affairs to do with endings. Both parties are embodying it. I do feel, again, it's quite funny, with Halloween being here, we do have Neptune and Pisces. You're going to find your guides are coming through quite a bit, but you've got to be careful what you're thinking, because that dark energy can definitely come through. When my dog left us, yeah, see, it's like transitional stages because different chapters come in. The souls, look, I did caring and nursing for years. And I would have certain clients that really needed me in a particular way, and they really didn't want other carers, so to speak, and it was like special needs. And with them, whenever their whenever their energy had ended and they were transitioning over, something major happened in my life and I moved employment. And it was moving states, moving areas, so it was quite a major transition, but it's usually because these new chapters are coming in. Okay, feminines, unleash your creativity, please, okay? Please, 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 realise. You don't need all the assurity, trust it. Okay, speak your truth. Some of you don't know what it is, that's okay. Some of you don't know what to say. Some of you don't think communication's going to come in. But again, I am saying, because of Mercury retrograde, if you didn't get contact, I actually think it's coming in now. After. And that was because we had Mars there. Okay, something to do with family and tribes changing, flat off the bat. There's shifts. Okay, the sacrifices you make, you don't have to make them all. There's a judgment here. You are going to get balance. Okay. We probably had a lot to say during Mercury retrograde, but we're pretty darn quiet now. It's funny because the clarifier is justice, and I'm hearing the term, listen more, say less. It's good old Scorpio. Scorpio can get anything out of you. So, for those of you moving into your weekend, okay, strength, yep. Blessings that you were expecting from the Lionsgate portal. And between this eclipse and Taurus, I feel they're coming through. And I feel a lot of you can have financial movement. A lot of you are going to have unexpected situations happen. Some of you are kind of like a deer in the woods frozen. What do I do now? I'm telling you, you're going to get your revelations. Some of them can start coming through by November. And please act on them. You know, if you feel you need to do something, do it. Because I feel this is what's going to help the communication come in. Number one, the good thing is I am seeing here, the blue is Mercury. Now, relating to love, they're currently dealing with it. They're coming to terms with what can't be healed in certain scenarios of connections in their life. They're seeing the truth of where they feel is going to work for them. If they're avoiding it due to a pain body experience, it's not going to last very long, because as we do have the transits moving forward, Jupiter is moving into their 12th house of psychology, and it will become too difficult to handle. Any questions? Any questions in the house? Communication, yes, and I do fall between now and November. It can start popping off. That's what I'm saying here. Yes. Short and sweet. What are we doing for Halloween? Anything planned? Has anyone got anything special planned for Halloween? I may do an in the dark tarot, we'll see. I do have some little devil horns there, you know, the vampire makeup. If that's something you guys would like, we can just do psychic updates, really, on Halloween. But if you're otherwise entertained, I'll let you go party. Tell you something nice. Well, you're going to feel more energetic. I'm going to get the cards. We'll shuffle. You're going to feel more energetic. You also maybe even thinking about your job and what you want to do. There can be travel. But you feel like something's coming right now. You don't, like, there's still, Stella, can be a little bit of depression. But I do feel you potentially could have an opening of communication with masculine. Probably be more. You still may feel a bit until, you know, November. You've got to pay attention to your health as well. Let's see. What's something nice for Stella? Should I ask the cards that? What's something nice for Stella? Oh, what do you want, Libra? That's what they're saying. What do you want? They're saying you haven't manifested yet. If you want a judgment, there's a judgment coming. It's asking, are you ready? Kind of makes sense. Yes. There's something to do with your relationship coming up. It might have been tense, but it was more with people in general. Maybe even towards yourself, that self-critique. I do feel some of you, yeah, I feel it's more, that lost feeling is going to dissipate, the depression, you know. But there is something that you're wanting to make a decision on. I do feel you're getting more communication, but that's maybe where the decision has to come. But it is saying you're going to have to make a decision. That's nice, isn't it? How do you feel about having the power on your side? Anything for masculine, right? Well, you're lucky I know the zodiac signs as well. Well, I don't know. Life is like a box of chocolates. Okay. Let's see for Leo next. What psychic energy is coming through for Leo next? You feel the past is coming back. Okay? You're kind of mad at yourself at the moment. You're fearing everything's going to be taken from you. And this is also my advice, okay? Is that for anyone that has Leo in their chart, you have to really pace yourself through any major moon transit, especially eclipses. Okay, because you guys are sun. You're like, I need to know, I need to see, I need to feel. You ain't going to get that when there's eclipses. Uncertainty, change, transformation, especially the Taurus moon. Your vibration will feel shock. You've got to give it 4 days in, 4 days out. A lot of us are already feeling the vibration of the eclipses, and that's both of them. That's due to the fact that we are having Venus currently in Sagittarius. So you're being critical, but is it productive? Where can we shift the energy back to so you can get something good? So no, this isn't going to happen forever, but you've got all these changes. And so it's like you're grabbing at things because you're feeling fair. Okay? I'm going to pull a crystal for you. What does Leo next need to know? I would say definitely there is heart chakra activation, but it's also clear the third eye. Moon relates to third eye. Leo, sun is third eye, but also moon is, it's both. It's fear and ego all in one. Hi, Angela. So I'd clear that, especially if the fair is coming up, which is passion and lust as well. Sacral chakra. It's the joint energy, but both parties here are feeling it. You're safe. Just say it. I am safe to be loved. I am safe to be respected. That who honors me will come to me. Yeah, you're protecting yourself. Okay? You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. It's just a vibration. Now, you'll know the difference between fair and truth. Truth will be in your face. It'll be written on the wall. Fair is based on a past event. Now, psychically speaking, best advice I can always give, especially because we've got Neptune and Pisces retrograde, don't be tuning into your fears because you can manifest them. Neptune is, do you want the evidence? We'll give it to you. It's in Pisces. You can psychically manifest it. It needs to not trigger you to the point it doesn't define you, that you still have power. So balance the power chakra, solar plexus sacral chakra, because it's fair-based frequency. Address the 3D on your side of what you have control over, and it'll balance out. But every time it comes up, breathe it out like you're giving it an exorcism. Okay? Best octane for Leo next in the next week, please. Be you. Be you. You got lots of good things coming. Okay? You do have lots of good things coming. Breathe in, breathe out. Yeah, just tune out, Doc. Keep busy. And tune out like it's a broken record. Hi, Char. You know, I was thinking about you yesterday. Even on Wednesday, you've been popping up in my head. You're probably going to get some news, Chart, because I honestly, with those of you that are my soul friends on YouTube, I do channel you sometimes. You pop into my head and I'm like, oh, God, okay. That card with the blue hand, that's YILDIZ. Yeah, I like my oracles. I prefer them. I don't need cards. I don't. Yes, Mercury retrograde in Libra. Now it's going direct. I'm moving furniture around the house. I'm cleaning shop. I'm reorganizing. I'm restructuring the business. I'm having a new identity. No, it's not an existential crisis. I'm cleaning up. It's like I don't resonate with that anymore, Libra. So who knows their astrology? Who knows their astrology charts? What's coming up in chat? Oh, I keep seeing him at the door. Okay, what are you battling with? Have you had a fight with someone? It's Divine Masculine. I'm going to pull one for Divine Masculine because I've just pulled the card. And the card looks like you might have had a misunderstanding with somebody. Or it could be with yourself. But I'm actually feeling this with the person. In your head. What about me? So Taurus and Libra. Oh, with Gemini and Libra. Is it? I'm not good with signs. Libra and Aries, is that? What is it? My telephone's really tiny. With the chat. Pisces. So your North Node's in Pisces. Haven't seen that very often where they're not, you know, and Libra, Pisces and Libra. Have you seen that, Mark? I have on a few occasions, but you know, usually they're like, yeah. Are you cuspy? Is that why? You're going to have a very interesting transit chart because I'm kind of feeling like, oh, what's that movie? I'm kind of seeing you like turning your wound into alchemy, but it's like, I'm going to get everything. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to show you. It feels very ambition orientated, very motivation orientated. There is a person around you though, and I keep picking this, they're keen. But I also feel your divine masculine may be changing jobs. What's zodiac are they? Yeah, because I'm kind of getting like there is ambition coming around your masculine, but I feel it's that they're traveling for work or something like that, and I keep seeing them at your door. You on your own, you're like, what was that for? What was that for? But I do see them close to your door, very close. But it feels like they're going somewhere for work. There's some sort of a transition happening in their life. But they are thinking about you quite a bit. The ambition energy coming through with the King of Wands, they do. That's an In the Dark Tarot card. We've got to go there for that. Okay, so we'll have to talk about that on Wednesday. More than likely, it'll be there for a few months, guys. Only because we've got Scorpio there. And Scorpio is lustrous. Okay, so I'm being nice because there's, you know, somebody listening. But yes, it's a bit, hey, they've got spice thinking. Okay, they're spicy. Yep, they're spicy. You were spot on about Leo. Yeah, it will pass, so it's hard. With the moon phases, if you just gauge those times, you know, we did have Pluto retrograde. It hit in your 7th house, which was for relationships. A lot of emotions. Are we going? Are we coming? You know, what are we doing? It's going to ease up. We do have Mercury retrograde in January, so again, that's going to activate your Venus house. But at the moment, things can flow, but you really are owning your power and maybe shifting energy onto other things just for a minute, which is going to benefit you. Because ironically enough, if you've ever noticed, while we're fussing over a connection, the 1st and the 7th house placement teaches us about balance. So when we fuss over that connection, what can happen is it imbalances it. Then when you like sod this and you're focusing on something else, it brings it back in. Why? Because we're too focused on that. So you literally need to be the balance of the scales for that polarity with the 1st and the 7th house transit. So you need to find that equilibrium and focus on the things in your life that are yours and that you can control. And then if they're ignoring you, and I'll have to do some videos, you know, if somebody's ignoring you, you teach people how to treat you. You move in and you do something yourself and it shifts it. You teach people how to treat you. But your transits should ease up, but you also can have people from the past coming back again around the time of December and January. But it's going to start flowing. So even through Mercury direct, you're enjoying the lounge time. Well, I have been standing at my kitchen bench for 2 weeks now because I've been sitting too much. I'm just not doing it anymore. This Libra's got to get a body back. And besides, I feel a bit stagnant. Yes, also I was talking to Mark. Those of you who are Cancer, if you did find you're quite psychic in nature, but usually Cancer's quite psychic, I noticed through the transits that, you know, somebody had said when you got 12th house, you tend to lose some of your psychic energy. It's because you're kind of using your resources in your mind. You're doing something different. So yes, it can go away, but you're enhancing other elements and attributes of what you already have inside you. Did I miss anyone? Did I miss any super chat? What are we doing for Halloween? That's okay, chat. Yeah, I feel them close. But there is a person around you who's pretty keen. Now, they might be coming in, and it usually comes in at the same time. I'm just saying. But I do foresee pretty much unions coming in anywhere between now and February. Okay? I'll have to check Juno, but yeah, I'm seeing such. I bought a hula hoop. Good. I think that's the best way to go. There you go. And I did say it's more as we leave. I don't know why. I was just psychically picking it. It's like as we're leaving Mercury retrograde, that's where it's kind of coming through. You know, because we're not in that. Yeah. Next. Look, it could be entertaining, Leonix. If you just jump in front of the mirror and get the black eyeshadow, maybe I'll just come on here for Halloween and I'll put my goth makeup on, you know, teardrops. And we can do some in the dark tarot readings, maybe some haunted stories. We've all got a bit of scoundrel in us. Hi, Dawn. How you doing, doll? Hi, Kerry. How are you doing through the transit, Kerry? Full moon. Did you make it through, doll? Did you feel spunky and fiery? You're probably going to feel better towards the end of this month. Okay? Yeah, you've had a lot of shadow you've been facing. You're blocking it out. You're doing the work, but you're almost feeling like that person's moved on. But it's more to do with shadow. Okay? You're also getting a bit of eyes looking at you. And what do I mean by that? People can be noticing you and very attracted. And you're probably looking at them like, what are you looking at? Tickets for Halloween lounge. You're super tired. Yeah, maybe you can do one in the members hub as well or on the website if that's something you guys want. I can do a... What day does it fall on? Yeah, I can probably do that. We can do an evening one. Evening or a morning. Do a mini read. Tell some horror stories. Maybe you can have a laugh at me with my bad makeup. Any else getting better looking? Well, Mercury going direct in Libra, it might actually help. We will have the rise of the divine feminine in 2022. There's a lot of feminine energies that are going to be in media. Taurus is feminine. Women bosses, women this, women that. It'll be interesting. Co-creativity. Sounds awesome. Sounds like bloody hard work, I tell you. I think there was a post on Facebook and they were talking about, do you ever go out without makeup? I'm like, yeah. Yes. Yes, I do. Have you ever been in a partnership with no money? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, so we're going to, and that's why at the moment we need to redirect that energy onto our creative projects, onto spirituality, not ego. I did put another post up. The difference between being spiritual, here's a little meme for you, and tell me what you think. You can tell me I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. Is you still have problems. Shit still goes down. You don't know everything. You're a student. You're still learning, and you're not completely woke. We transcend when we're completely woke. Now, when we're giving advice, it's requested upon. And you'll know the difference between when you're talking from ego, because, you know, if you're talking and you're giving a really like stern advice or projections, the projection is the reflection. Okay? You're redecorating the living room. That's the Libra energy, I'm telling you. I still probably wouldn't buy any technology until mid-month next month, because we're going to have transits in Taurus. The banks will be on the media, but it's still the shadow energy. Yeah. Patty and enjoying the fire. Yeah, well, see, you guys are going into winter. I'm going into summer. Yes. Did you know, FYI, you are able to boost your health kick during winter more so than summer. And you can actually lose more kilojoules during winter than summer. Yeah. Well, Taurus's fabric. New styles coming through. I do predict neon makeup. A lot of neon. Have you seen a lot of adverts lately? Yeah, neon, very earth-based things, but very flamboyant things, new age. So halogen lights, neon. Yeah, out there, because Uranus is to do with innovation and change. Probably be walking around with glow-in-the-dark bloody lipstick, you know? Glow-in-the-dark hair dye. What will they come up next? That'll probably come from a bloody jellyfish, right? Thank you all. I will love you and leave you. Back in the 80s. Yeah, it'll be, the polarity of Taurus is it's more laid back. So again, fashion and textiles will be more earth-based. You're going to be looking at furniture that's going to be probably not so square, curved, you know, very, you know, the epitome of maybe some of the furniture that might come through is Kanye West. Very triangles, but that's the reason why I use the banner for the triangles. That sort of symbology with technology, innovation will be coming through. Yes. The 40s, yeah. So yeah, it'll be plush pile furniture. It'll be, yeah, very natural, organic, breathable fabrics. Definitely going to have to get your vegetables growing. It may rain quite a bit and be a bit windy. He did, and that's because he's gem. Any gems, what I'm going to do hopefully shortly is per year, promise less, deliver more. I'm trying to take my own advice here, is maybe do a celebrity read that is the particular zodiac on that month, and I can astrologically give you some examples of some of the things happening in that given year for that person. And that can give you an example, and you can keep an eye on that person and see things, and then you don't feel alone. Of course, your birth chart will be different. But yeah, Kanye West, again, Sagittarius is spiritual. So Gemini and Sagittarius, changes in relationships, changes in demeanor, changes in his spirituality and his values. Probably coming back out in the media again in some shape or form. I'll have to read his birth chart and see where Pisces is. Yes. But the furniture and the design, that's one thing I can say for Kanye, is he has really new age kind of views when it does come to his design. Like, he's really quite flamboyant and out there, Gemini energy, but I wonder where Uranus is for him. Very interesting in design. Anywho, I will love you and leave you. And I will probably come back Monday and I'll give a bit of an update. Never know, I might even come over the weekend. We see. Stay posted if you do want to come join us for the Halloween. I will probably put a community post up, or I'll do it on the website as well. Take care, guys.